Well, hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day or night, and welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm Deluxe. All right, let's do another freaking Transformer review because I love some freaking Transformers. I'm really excited for this. Well, I'll be excited at the end of the review. I hope so. But man, this is Mechanical Skull Studios. This is their Universe Ramjet. Kind of weird. They did Starscream last year, which was really good. One of my top 10 from last year. Surprised they didn't do a Thundercracker or a Skywarp. That would have been pretty cool, but really excited for this. So here is Abominator. Pretty cool name. There is the box. Looks pretty cool. On the back, you got the alt mode and the bot mode. On the side, you got a couple of picks and everything. And all that stuff and everything. So yeah, really excited. I think they have a Demolisher coming. I think they showed that last year at TFCon in October. And I think they may have showed it again in LA TFCon as well. But really excited for that. So they're doing Armada stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, really excited. So hit me up some likes, shares, prayers, and Care Bears. Hit that sub button for me if you don't mind. It really helps out the channel. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Everything is in the description. I really appreciate that. I got this at Show Z like I always do usually. Go to there and at the top hit the Lux 32. That really helps out the channel as well. So let's just get right to it. Let's talk about some Universe Ramjet from Mechanical Skull Studios. Man, I love me some Legends. Let's go. Let's freaking go.
All right, first things always, we'll take a quick look what he comes with. So it does come with instructions, but the thing is they gave him, they just reprinted, or they just, gave the Starscream one. Like you can tell, you got the little car as the Minicon. Ramjet does not have the car. Starscream did, but, it's basically the same thing. He is a retool, heavy retool, and a recolor of Starscream. So he gets several hands. You get the, sprayed out hands, the jazz hands or relaxed hands. You get the holding fist hands and everything, or closed fist and all that stuff. This is blue plastic. You get several options there. It's really good. You do, like I said, you do get his Minicon. I forgot the name of him off the top of my head, but it's pretty cool. Just like the car, it doesn't transform into a robot, but you do got some black paint and blue paint around. That's really nice. It does kind of transform a little bit. These little tail fins do move, and these will fold up right here so you can store him in, alt mode, everything. And there's a little tab. Now, he does have a little landing gear, which is pretty cool. I mean, they'd have to throw that in, but he does flip out a little landing gear, so that's nice. So, yeah, it will tab in right here, that little slot right there. So, it does a little transform a little bit, and that's pretty cool. I like that. You get two swords, one that does not fold. One, he has a gimmick where you can take off the wing and replace it. I'll show you that in a little bit. But you do got nice silver paint and this metallic blue, which is beautiful. I like that. You got this one. This one does not bend or anything or fold. This does. This has folding one point right here and right there, like that. Once again, silver paint and the metallic blue look beautiful. And I love this one. Love me some translucent stuff. There's translucent red sword right there. Very nicely done. Love it. All right, so there you go. That is what Ramjet comes with. Whee! All right, here's Mechanical Skull Studios and their Ramjet in his alt mode, and I like it. I really do. Like I said, I love the Starscream mode. This is from Armada and everything. This was from the Universe line. Remember the brown, ugly, orange kind of boxes and everything? They just basically were recolors, but this looks good. I really do. I love the translucent yellow right here. You do got some red paint, some blue paint right here. The cockpit does not open, but you got a little couple things in there. That's pretty cool. You do have the gimmick where it bends down, kind of look like it's, like a neck or something like that. And you also have this too as well. You do have a landing gear right here and landing gears right here too as well. You get two landing gears there. So that's pretty cool. Very nicely done. And they fold away just nicely. So like I said, you do got that little gimmick right here. You can, if you want to, you can look up, see his little head sculpt right there. Nicely done. Silver paint right there. Blue paint, silver, once again, yellow. Nicely done. I love when you put it over the sculpt work and it, brings it out, makes it pop a little bit. Metallic blue, love it. You got the rotor with the yellow paint right there. Yellowish oranges right there. Very nice. And this is where the little Minicon is going to go right there. And it was once you do, it doesn't, it doesn't activate anything like the, original Armada, but you can flip these over and you can have blasters and everything. That's pretty cool. Nothing else moves. I don't think these move or anything like that. That's pretty cool. So we'll bring in the Minicon. I'll show you. Like I said, you can, once you do that, you can just tab it in right here if you want, like that. Or you can, like I said, flip this out or flip these up right here. Here, let me take that off real quick. You flip it up right there, and you can tab it in right there, and the blasters will come back, and they can ride together like that. Now there's another option. I don't think this is there's nothing in the instruction or anything like that. This does move, but it's kind of tabbed in. If you want to, you can. There's a little, you got a little hole right there. You can stick this in here if you want to. Kind of just wedge it in there. There's no tabs or anything like that, but it kind of will just sit in there if you want to. I can't get it to do in there, but you just got to work with it. If you want to do it that way, that's it's pretty cool. There's options there and everything. You can, like I said, there is a option where you can take the wing off. First of all, you can, there is some, 3mm ports or 5mm. You can, see that's out. You can take the wing off, but you can do, tab these in if you want. It kind of looks goofy with swords and a jet. I love swords, in bot mode, but with alt modes, it kind of looks goofy to me, but you can tab them in if you want to, all three of them. Like I said, you have the option of taking that wing off right there. And what you do is you just fold this and fold this, and you just replace the other wing. You just tab in, there's a little slot in there, and you kind of just wedge it in there. And let's see if I can do this. Move the arm out of the way. Kind of just tab it in there like that, and like that. And there you go. So you have that option, then you can, use that. So there's a couple options you can do with that. Also, there's a little port right there. If you want to, if you have a little stand, you can put this on the stand and you can have him displayed like that, which is pretty cool. Move this up a little bit. There it goes. So yeah, there's a couple options you can do. Everything, like I said, I like how they, gave you the options, what they did with the original one, which is pretty cool. So there you go. There is Universe Ramjet. I think that's it as far as that in his alt mode. Alrighty, there is Wheelie. We got Magic Square Prowl. We got Toxitron from New Age. I'll throw in Dr. Woo Woo Woo. There's Cosmos. And here is Red Alert from Siege. And as always, we have Dustbuster Jazz. And there's some scale for you. Alrighty, back transformation. Here he is. I think he looks really good. Fun transformation, easy. Doesn't take that long, but man, very nicely done. I love this mold. I hope we get another. Like I said, I don't know if I can't remember if they showed the Sky Warp or if they showed the Thundercrack. I think they may have showed Sky Warp too, but Haven't seen anything since, but they do have a demolisher coming. So, but I hope they do some more of this mold because it's really good. Love the head sculpt. Looks really good. Nice. Got some yellow, kind of some blue in there, kind of a navy blue going on. Looks very nice. And silver for the little head crest. Looks really good. Red. Got some blue paint throughout, some silver. Nicely painted. Silver throughout. Once again, the metallic blue looks really, really good. And you've already seen all this. You got the blue and the silver and blue on the feet. In the back, you got the nice little blasters and everything. I love how they cover up the waffles. That is awesome. That is really cool. I like it. You got the nice translucent yellow. Looks good. All right. So as far as articulation, look down quite a bit. Look up all the way. Very nice. It's on a ball peg. Very nice. You go all the way around. And you got a little attitude as well. Very nicely done with that. All right. So the wings do move a little up and down. It's on a little thing on a swivel. You can get that out of the way. You can go up to there and even more. So that's nice. I like that. So you can just go like that, but you can use that too as well. You can go all the way around. Got to manipulate it a little bit. About 90 degrees for the elbow bend. Bicep swivel. Swivel up and down with the hands on a ball peg. Just open that up and you can switch that out. I'll show you that in a second. You do have a nice ab crunch or butterfly. Very nicely done. Love that. That is awesome. All right. So moving down. All right. So as far as the waist swivel, you may have to move the cockpit a little bit out. You do have a waist swivel, but this does kind of get in the way, and it will rake up against this too as well. So just be careful with that. But you do have that, and you do have an ab crunch too as well, just like that little one right there. And you can look up. Very nicely done. You know, the waist swivel is a little bit hindered. You just got to move this out of the way a little bit. So you can do that. You can Van Dam all day, every day. You can kick up to about right there, and then you start hitting some stuff. Kick back. You can move those out of the way. You can get some further back if you want to. You got a wiggle waggle right there, but you do have a cut for a thigh swivel. You have a nice knee bend. Got more than 90 degrees for the knee bend, which is nice. Nice silver paint like that. All right. You can toe tilt up, toe tilt down, and a beautiful rocker. Tons and tons of great articulation. Everything you need. That is awesome. All right. So there you go. Articulation for Ramjet. All right. Go over accessories real quick. Okay. So just with his minicon, so you can flip out, I guess, you know, his little landing gear, you gotta call it, and you can attach this on there's a little slot right there. You can attach it right here if you want to. You can carry it like that, or you can take this off and you can flip it up and you can carry it back here just like you did in the alt mode. You can do that. So there's a couple ways you can do that. That's pretty cool. As far as hands, like I said, you just open up, open this up. It's on little ball pegs, and you can replace the hands any way you want to. That's pretty cool. All right, so you do have still the option with if you want to switch out the folding sword. If you want to attach it there, you just take that off right there. But he holds these just fine. Just put them in his hands. You got that, and that's with any other sword like that. Or you can, these two right here, they do have little tabs, and you can store them on the back just like you did in alt mode if you want to. You just take this, put it right there, and then put this one. Fortunately, one he's holding does not have a tab, so you cannot do that, but you can switch it out if you want to. And you can hold them like that. It kind of look goofy like that, but you do have an option of doing that. And then just like the, with the mini cons and everything that activate something, you can move these forward and have your blasters move forward, and you can have that, and he's all powered up and everything. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. That's what you can do with his accessories. All right, there's Magic Square, Ultra Magnus, Optimus Prime, and Mirage. And there's New Age Megatron, Optimus Prime, Mirage, and Bumblebee. And Dr. Woo Woo Woo, Ultra Magnus, Ramjet. We got one of the secrets from Iron Factory. You got Lucky Cat, Bumblebee, Core Class Wheelie, then Tismickey, Retgar. And there's some scale for you. And Crapagonus, Crappy Tool Pepper, AAA Battery, Carmex, Care Bears, Kicker, and Squeaks. More scale.
Well, hey there, everybody. If you made this far, as always, I freaking appreciate that. All right, final thoughts on Mechanical Skull Studios is a Legend Scale Universe Ramjet. I freaking love it. I think he's probably going to be in my top 10 again. It's a great mold.
Love the Starscream from last year. Like I said, I hope we get a Sky Warp and a Thundercracker out of this. Man, that'd be freaking awesome. But I love the retooling. Looks really nice. All bow looks good. I like it. You can see the hands hanging off, the wings and everything. Kind of, ugly a little bit, but other than that, looks pretty good. And then the transformation's easy and fun. Mostly the most thing you really transform is the legs. But yeah, transformation is really easy. The bot mode looks great. My gosh, love the accessories. You get, tons of hands options. You get the, the 3 swords. I love the translucent red sword. Looks really good. You have the option to take the wing off if you want to, and use this. That's pretty cool. Paint-wise, great. Love the gray. Love the metallic blue. Love the, yellow here and there. Looks really nice. Head sculpt looks good. Got a lot of silver. So great job on the paint. I like that. You do get a little mini con, which is awesome. Doesn't really do much, but, it's there, and I like that. They threw that in. Come on, Hasbro. Why do you hate mini cons? But yeah, it looks good. You can do that. I love that you can do the, the blaster thing. That's pretty cool. Articulation is great. Everything you need. Butterfly, ab crunch, waist swivel, everything. Nice little rocker. Really great on articulation. You can get him. I had a great time taking pictures of him. There's so many poses he can do. I love that. Very awesome. This is great, man. Mechanical Skull Studio, I'm really excited about what they're going to do with their Demolisher. And like I said, I hope we get some recolors of this one because their Starscream is great. This is good as well. Materials feel good as all, as good. Materials feel great as too. Materials feel great as well. Golly, couldn't get that out. A little tongue twister. But yeah, overall, great. I think you should definitely get this. I highly recommend this one. It's a great, great mold. So I hope you like my review. Hit me up some likes, shares, prayers, and Care Bears. Hit that sub button for me if you don't mind. It really helps out the channel. Hit me up some comments. Tell me thought of the reviews. Anybody getting this guy? Do y'all have Starscream already? What do y'all think of him? And follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. Really appreciate that. Go to Show Z. That's where I got this guy. Up the top, hit Deluxe 32. Really helps out the channel. Go buy you some new Transformers. Go buy this guy. He's freaking awesome. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next Transformer review. And as always, be good to yourself, man. Hell freaking Transformers and hell freaking Mechanical Skull Studios. Man, I hope we get some. I hope we get Megatron from Armada. That would be awesome. I hope we get everything, man. That'd be freaking sweet. Good night, folks.